What is good, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back. It is time for Transfer Talk live on a Saturday night. Let's do this, people. Our preseason friendlies are over. I think we all know what we need in the squad, but I'm here to discuss with you, what do you think we need from now until the end of this transfer window? Very important that we get this right, because there is a genuine chance that this Leeds United team can survive, but it needs something. It needs a few something, but it needs some things to make it a more complete puzzle. Look, very solid again, nothing wrong with that, but creativity, scoring, that could be a problem at this point. But Daniel Farke said a lot of things that I liked at the end of the game as well, and we'll get into those comments too. Pierre saying here, Stack is an absolute baller. He was brilliant, man, brilliant. Yep, Carl smashed the like, and people and sub, whatever, man. But yeah, please hit the like. That's better than subscriptions. Trust me. Isaac here saying here, we definitely needed a spark. Stack played well today, even without the goal. I still believe we'll land a new striker late in the window. We also need those squad fillers in fullbacks. Absolutely, people. Absolutely. And I've also reloaded the same poll that I did a couple of days ago. I've reloaded it again because when we've had a result, it changes everything. It changes people's mind frame. So I want to see how different the results are today in comparison to a couple of days ago. In terms of the same question. So it is as it was before. As of the squad today, does Leeds United stay up? Simple as that. No, yes, but we need to add this. It is yes or no, or just, or just it will be close, but no. Cade here saying Stat can have my children. There we go, people. There we go. And Nigel is saying, evening, KG, looks like Farke is integrating Harrison into the squad. Yeah, we're going to get into that as well. We're going to get into that. And Jason here saying, good day, early morning from New Zealand. Shout out to you, man. So yeah, listen, we got a 1-1 draw against Milan. Again, a solid showing. But as I say with the friendlies, even if we lose the game, win the game, don't get too high, don't get too low. It's about what you take from it and what are the glaring weaknesses in the team. We saw this lineup out today. Without Jayden Bogle, we definitely need a new right back. But I've been saying this from the start: you can't go into the season with just Jayden Bogle as your one right back, and even Sam Byram. For me, that's just not enough. We need to get another one. And Danny Farke did say that we need to stay awake, and you know what that means? It means that we need to look for one. And again, what I will say though with Schmidt, no, I'm not getting to that. What I will say with Schmidt, though, is that people are saying that you can see why he wasn't played, but we did see in the championship when he did play that in a more attacking sense, he was useful. But I said at the time, and I stick with it right now, it hasn't changed for me. If you wasn't going to trust him at fullback against Preston, against Plymouth, against Bristol City, what makes anyone think he would be any good against Newcastle, Brighton, and all these teams? It just doesn't compute for me. So I do expect Schmidt to leave the building, but I do think that we will fill that squad space as soon as possible. We need that. Jack saying here Schmidt hasn't had minutes. Nah, there's that. But yeah, I'm with Lee on that one. Decent going forward, but liability defensively. Yeah, and it wasn't just him for the goal, by the way. There was a few things. Strauch had turned off. Roden wasn't really matching. There was a few things. It was a well-worked goal overall. There's no like outright fault. You could even go to Dan James not helping out Schmidt on that side as well. James as well looks very rusty, but that's just natural with the lack of minutes he's had. But again, you would also think that on the right-hand side, and we'll get into a link in just a moment, or a bit later, I should say, that we do need another, source of winger out there. Why was our tallest player taking corners? All right. So, okay, shall we get into some of what Farke was saying then? Yeah. Let me just see here. And on that with Bogle, because I don't know about you guys, but a few of you have been leaving it in the comments, which I have to remove because I don't leave gossip in there. But people are saying that Bogle's going to be out until Christmas. I mean, Farke has said, and I did listen to the audio as well as reading the comments, that Bogle is expected back in full training next week, along with Bernal. Bogle has already been on the grass doing individual work. Now, listen, I know we've been burnt with this before as well. We've been Oh yeah, Sam. We'll get into that in a moment. Yeah, we've been burnt with this before in terms of Pascal. Yeah, he'll be back by the international break. Also with Dan James. But if Jaden Bogle is ready to go, especially for the Everton game, that is good. But he will need genuine competition at that point. So let's hope that happens as well during this next few weeks. Sam, he's saying, I'm away back from working the Sheffield United game. What a demolition. KG on the car speakers to get me home. Yeah, I just finished watching it, man. That was brutal. You see, it makes our 3-3 draw against Portsmouth look respective. It's respectable, doesn't it, after we didn't go up in the previous season. So, but yeah, long season as it always is in the Championship. You know how it goes. Julie saying here or asking here, any more news about signing, or is it all still quiet? There's one link out there, Julie, and we'll get into that later in the show. Sorry. Yep. So let's have a look here. Farke also clarified this with Illan Melier. Farke said Melier was not needed in the travelling party to Ireland because he was playing two and had Alex Cairns in reserve. Stripping him of the #1 shirt was a show of faith for Perry's confidence rather than the action against Melier, he said. So that, I mean, that's a nice way of kind of pushing somebody out, which is about time. And you know what? It seems Farke's the one that's doing the ruthless stuff right now in terms of, publicly saying Bamford's not in the squad, talking about Joseph not joining up with the team, stripping Melier of the #1 jersey and giving it to Perry. Now, he's probably gone about it publicly in another way, but you'd have to think behind the scenes. He pretty much said that Darlow's ahead of him, and so is obviously Alex Cairns. So Melier does need to find a new club if he wants to play first team football. And I don't think Melier would ever want to be second choice at a football club. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to be fourth. So it's on him, his agent, and Leeds United as well to get on with sanctioning a move for him away, because we could do with some transfer funds, let's be honest, and we could do with his wages off the books as well. Okay, yeah, people still talk about that. Okay, yeah, we'll carry on then. If it's not as always with the live streams, you got to keep the conversation relevant to what's on the screen, or something that you want to bring up, which is unbelievable. But we've already spoken about Schmidt. All right. Gavin here talking about the three midfield is our best. Yeah, that's what it's been for me as well, Gavin. It's just a real good balance in overall when you've got Ampadu in there. You've seen what Stack's about, and Tanaka as well look good in touches as well. And I think Tanaka will grow through the season as well. That is definitely our best three. I do wish we had recruited a better, player than Longstaff, but again, he's here now, so we'll use him. But that's on the preface that we do get some absolutely outstanding attackers that will help out a Longstaff when he is on the pitch, because he's very limited in what he does. Good energy, he'll run about. That's what we know what his game is. But yeah, it would have been nice to get another kind of midfielder, but we are stacked in midfield in terms of what we've got, but there's opportunity to add quality, and I want to get into that with what Farke says. Ryan here saying Harmer wants the Leeds move. You could see it in the game this evening. Listen, it wasn't a great game from Harmer, but there was a few touches from him today where you can see he's just on a different wavelength from the rest of the players, just playing balls around the side, through the lines, and people weren't reading him, man. It's a shame. We'll see what happens with him, man. We'll see what happens with him. Yeah, Longstaff is the 70-minute man. Yeah, that's what it is. Got to look out for Baron Cross, though, man, because, again, I don't know if Baron is from Newcastle or supports Newcastle, but he keeps on. He's got Longstaff prop for days, man. He said earlier in this report about it looks like Tanaka's got the nod over Longstaff for now. It's like, huh? So moving on from Melier, because I think, yeah, he'll be gone. This was something that Farke said that I didn't agree with, and we'll get into what I did agree with Daniel Farke in just a moment. But he was on about Jack Harrison. Farke reiterated his previous message on Harrison. He needs to keep working hard to eventually win back the support, a la Firpo and Aronson. Unsurprised by the booing, but noted the support in some pockets of the crowd, which were cheering Jack Harrison. And again, I've made my point on this in terms of Jack Harrison. It's completely different from Firpo to begin with. Let's start with Firpo. Firpo was just not good enough at Premier League level. That's why he was booed, because he just wasn't good. Now, he wasn't the only one. Dallas wasn't good in that season. Cooper wasn't good. There was a lot, but of people remaining and that were key players, it was like, man, what have we bought Firpo for? He had a redemption arc from playing well in the Championship and eventually helping us get up. It's a completely different scenario. Similar scenario is Brendan Aronson. But again, Brendan Aronson didn't have the equity that Jack Harrison had previously from the Bielsa era. So, of course, people that love Bielsa for a start, which is a big love in the first place, are going to look at Harrison a different way and go, that's not the player that Bielsa brought in, going away. Again, I always say this, I've got nothing against Jack Harrison leaving on loan to go to stay in the Premier League if he's got the opportunity to. But what Farke is not also counting on is that the fact Harrison has not improved as a player. So it's not even like we're getting back a player that is going to be useful in any sense. He's actually regressed dramatically. And Farke even said in this post-match interview about Harrison, I was once jealous that Leeds United had him when I was at Norwich. That's a long time ago, Daniel. He's not that player anymore. He hasn't been that player for a while. So there's just so many differences in terms of the way that the crowd are reacting to Jack Harrison. A lot of the crowd just feel betrayed. And obviously his mom's comments don't help. It's much like the Matt Grimes situation. So at this point in time, I do think, by the way, I will say this, I do think once the window closes, if he's still here, I think the booing will stop. I don't think the booing will carry on. I think it'd just be one of those things where people just get on with it. He's here, they'll back him and everything else like that, and probably wait till January to see if he moves then. But yeah, for me, the best scenario would be for him to leave, just from the quality of the player, never mind who he is or what he's perceived to have done. I just don't think he's a very good player. You saw him come on for Goodmanson. That can't run in the Premier League. We can't have Jack Harrison at left back. I'm all for converting certain wingers to fullbacks, a la Ashley Young or Brighter Samuel, but he's not going to be good defensively for us in a back four. It's not going to happen. So okay, Aaron here saying, if Jack was a reliably good player, I could bite my lip if it was going to aid our survival. He's just weighing us down with wages and the rest needs shut of him. Yeah, that's what it is for me. That's what it is. You can see there's nothing there in terms of confidence, man. And he's a big confidence guy. And you've got to get rid of those kind of players, man. You need players with a bit of arrogance about them. That's what we've been lacking, man. This club has been too nice. For a club that prides itself on being dirty leads and service crew and all this historic stuff, the crowd in general seem to love really nice guys. I don't. I like players that know they're good and will perform and show it on the pitch. I don't like people that just talk or withdrawn. You know what I mean? I like people that know they're good, and he's not one of those kind of players. So, look, we will see what happens with Jack Harrison come the end of the window, but I still think there is a window for Everton to grab him on loan and cover his wages. That's what I'm hoping. As long as we get in another winger, that's imperative that we do that. So, okay, moving on then from Harrison. If you got any other further comments about Harrison, put them in the comments after the video, people. This was it in terms of transfers. Farke happy with business, but well aware attack needs to improve for survival. We've replaced Joseph and Bamford with Melier, a free agent, but we have lost Solomon, one of our key players. In comparison to our championship squad, we have not improved in the offense. What I will say as well is that he added some more to this, which is right up my street, because this is an important part. In the offense, we need some top-class signings, not just numbers. We need players who improve our squad. Music to my ears, people, because I keep seeing this thing about we're 4 players light, but what 4 players, people? If you get in 4 subpar players, guess what? We're still 4 players that we need. You can't just bring in bodies for the sake of it. They have to be of top quality, especially with how we've built this team to be solid, workmanlike. We need that creative spark. We need goals. This is not going to do it over the course of a 38-game Premier League season. And I don't know if you guys have been watching the championship over the weekend. I'm so glad we're out of it, but you can see the glaring differences in terms of just reading intelligence of defenses and everything else like that. It's just 2 completely different leagues, and that's going to be an adjustment for a few of our players for sure. But we can help that. So if we now go in for the rest of the window, people, and get 4 players and they're not that good, we're still in the same position as we are today. Simple as that. So I am so glad that Daniel Farke has made that caveat clear. We need top signings, not just numbers. That is music to my ears, and well done, Daniel, for identifying that. And in all fairness, it's to his advantage, because it's his job on the line, regardless of what the 49ers do. And I do put it at their doorstep if we don't get the players required. But ultimately, if we don't start off well, he's the one that's going to be paying for it with his job. So it's within his interest to not back down from what he said a week ago and say, actually, I'm all right. I'm glad that he stuck to his guns. That's something I said in yesterday's video. I'm glad he did that today. Yeah, exactly, Russ. Fair play to Farke, sticking to his guns. He's basically screaming out for quality additions. Yeah, he knows it, because it is crazy. When you think about it, compared to what we have now to the championship, when we had Peru, Joseph, and Bamford, even at championship level, I mean, Bamford didn't score, but you get my point. That's three pretty good strikers for that level. We're in the Premier League now, and we're down to Peru and Mecha. And listen, people, I'm not on the Mecha train. I got to be honest. I want him to do well. But the guy has literally scored 5 goals in the past couple of years and has been injured as much, if not more, than Bamford. So I can't really fully put my chips into that play. So we do need another forward, but we're actually weaker in the Premier League than we have been at Championship, and obviously that doesn't compute to surviving in the Premier League. So yeah, listen, yeah, sorry, Bamford, man, your time is up, man. Like, you know, like John Cena's opposition, it's up. All right, it's up. Sorry about that. Isaac with a super chat here. Thoughts on Rasmus Højlund? I don't have any. Rasmus Toilet. Not for me, man. I think he's going to be going to AC Milan, but no, that we don't need to go for another striker that doesn't score goals and doesn't suit the Premier League. You know what I mean? No, not for me. Mecha looks quality. Yeah, quality is see. There's words that are just being overused now. Quality. You know, it's like everyone's a great player these days, and even the no-brainer saying has just been watered down. You know what I mean? Just everything just gets watered down now. Everything just gets overused. Pete here saying, you're speaking sense. We need quality to add to this team. Absolutely, we do. Absolutely. And it's just looking at other teams as well that I think anyway, that are going to be in and around us. They're adding quality. Sunderland are adding quality. And all Sunderland have to do now to really match what we've got is buy a couple of centre backs, and then there's a real legitimate argument of who's got the better squad overall. A real legit argument there. So we need to move away from that. And it is for me. I know that the window is not going to be closing for another couple of weeks. I get it, people, but for not having one signing in the last 2 weeks, I'm sure Farke's not even happy with that. Russ here, do you think we'll sign anyone before the Everton game? Well, that's a question for the chat as well. Whoever's in here, do you think we'll get anyone in before the Everton game? I hope so, but Russ, you've tuned into these videos. I say this like every Friday or Saturday. We'll see what happens over the next week, and not much is happening. So we'll wait and see, but hopefully it is the right targets acquired, man, because otherwise it won't be enough for this team. It just won't. SB thinks we're going to get 1 or 2 in before Everton and then 2 after Everton. Okay. So yeah, that's what I liked about what Farke said. And listen, could Dilane Bakwa be one of them? Well, Isaac Johnson, we've been linked with him already, but he's reignited the link, shall we say. Strasbourg winger Dilane Bakwa is of interest to Leeds United. Nothing more as of yet, of course not. You know, inquiry, interest. We're looking at, you know, just checking out. Nothing more as of yet, and Nottingham Forest appear front runners despite having a bid pushed back. Strasbourg looking for somewhere between 26 and 30 million. Bakwa predominantly plays right wing. Yeah, we know that. Yeah, Bakwa for me, like I say, I've said many times before, I do like him. I like him a lot. But, you know, 30 million, he's got to hit the ground running straight away. We've got no time to bet in players. Whereas Forest at this stage of where they are, they've got the room to wiggle with Bakwa. They've still got Hudson-Odoi. They've still got Morgan Gibbs-White. They've still got plenty of players there that can supplement that. We need somebody, for me, that comes in and takes someone's spot. That's what we need. We need someone like don't want to mention his name, but you get it. Like Pai Shao, he would have come in and he comes in the first 11. No arguments. I feel we need something like that. And hopefully, if Dilane Bakwa is the one, he does that. But 30 million, woo, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. Michael saying here, he was at the game today. Just wanted to say Stark was immense in the middle of the pitch. His all-round game is unbelievable. It is, man. It was really, really good. Really, really good. Nick saying here, though, we need left winger, not 30 million on another right wing. Well, Nick, we've only got one. We've only got one out and out right winger, because the other two that play there would be Nanto, who fills in there but does his best work off the left, and Brendan Aronson. Sometimes he plays on the right. So at the moment, Nick, unless we're going to move, as I've said before, unless we're going to move Ramazani and Nanto to the right in favor of a left wing, getting a right winger wouldn't actually be bad, and especially one with a left foot. You know, it give us something different. Right now, we've got all right-footed wingers. Getting in a right winger who plays with his left foot would actually give us something very, very different to work with. So, yeah. But yeah, listen, for me, the position isn't important. It's about the quality of the player, because we saw we was going to get Pai Shao in. He's a left winger. Bakwa is a right winger. So I think we're just looking for the best forward options possible. Bilal El Kanous, don't know what's happened with that meeting. Don't know what's happened there. We were supposed to have a meeting. Was it yesterday or today? I guess we'll find out in the coming days what's happening with that. We need him and another. It's so vital, people. So vital. Andy here saying, hi KG, being tough to beat is a positive step. I reckon 38 draws keeps us up. Maybe, yeah. 38 points will probably do it, man, because the point totals in the past couple of seasons have been atrocious. 38 points might see us 13th. You know, you never know. What are we saying here? So yeah, so we'll see if anything happens with Dilane Bakwa. Another one that we recently linked with, and I'm glad he's got another link. Renner interested in 20 million euro rated Marseille forward Jonathan Rowe. That's one that I just would not be excited about, people. That's no better than what we've got now. It literally is the same thing of what we've got now. There's nothing different or elevating in this player in comparison to a Ramazani or Nanto or even a Dan James. So for me, I just hope we are nowhere near this one, because I don't know what that does for us. You know what I mean? Don't know what that does for us. Oh, what was that? Ryan, there was no meat in Parag woke up. That's tremendous. That's tremendous. He's doing deals in his sleep. And listen, I say this all the time, because this is literally a living document. This whole transfer window is a living document of what we're doing. We could end the window absolutely unbelievable. It could be the ending. You know, the next 4 players we get in could be absolutely brilliant and crucial to what we're doing. Because you see what we've got, man. You see what we're trying to do. We're going to be solid. We're going to be workmanlike. But boy, the creativity is lacking big time, and goals are going to be lacking. So we need to get that part right. Absolutely. I saw Josh Sargent scored, but if you saw the goal, it was as championship as you can get. The goalkeeper tried to kick it forward, and he blocked it into the net. He ran it down, Lee. So yeah, goals in the championship, that doesn't sway me. I'm not that simple. BMG, who's left a lot of comments. Let's go, BMG. I think we need a 9, create a versatile backup fullback. Yeah, for me, I don't want a backup fullback, man. I want one that competes. You know, I've already lowered my standard of what I'm not willing to accept or thought we would bring in. I want one that is genuine competition, man. We don't need a backup. A clear backup, by the way, is Sam Byram. That's as backup as you can get. I want one that comes in and you go, whoa, is he going to start, or will it be Jaden? You know, is it going to be him, or is it going to be Goodmanson? That's what you need, people. You need that kind of competition. John here, just putting it here. We're going straight back down. That's tremendous. Yeah, SB saying Schmidt and Byram ain't good enough. We need 2 fullbacks. That's it for me as well, SB. There's even an argument as well, but we'll get into this when we do the transfer window rating. We should have replaced the goalkeepers in totality. We should have got 2 new goalkeepers, and it's not expensive. People saying you can't just replace everyone. You can get in another goalkeeper for cheap. You know what I mean? I think we could have done that, rather than, if Perry does have, you know, lingering injury issues, think he's going to be fine by the time the Everton game comes around. He was always going to be just do 1 half today as well, people. There was no injury news on that. It would have been nice to just get another one for competition for Perry, but we're not going to do that. I think we can see by the way the window's going, it's going to be another fullback, creative player, and a striker at least. But we need another one on that. It's got to be at least 4. In a bit of disbelief, I don't think she or even I saw 4-1 coming for Bristol City. You know what I mean? That's one hell of a result. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely, what crazy result, but that's the championship. Thankfully, we're not there this season. Uh, the unambiguous. Well, we're building a decent team for the 26-27 championship season. And listen, I know you're joking there, or maybe you're not, but just on that point, this is the thing with like players like Anton Stack, who I want to just highlight. You know, I know it's friendly, but overall, you can see what he's going to bring to the table. At this moment in time, I just feel like we've got Stack, and I want Biol back in there as well. By the way, people, the Everton game needs to come and go so we can get Biol next to Rodon again. But we're going to have some real solid players that are going to really stand out this year. And I think Stack and Tanaka are going to be two. And if we get relegated, man, the vultures are going to be circling like crazy, man. It's going to be absolutely mad because Anton Stack already, for me, if he carries on the way that I think he's going to go, we're going to be talking by January. People are going to be saying, what about Anton Stack at Leeds? Opposition clubs will be saying that. So I'm not getting too high. I just feel like this player has got the potential to get there. Yeah, and that's the other thing as well, David. Yeah, Stack will not be there if we get relegated. Absolutely not. He won't be in the championship. And that's the other thing that always makes me laugh. It's like how say Joseph has gone out on loan, or some of these players that we've signed. Well, if we get relegated, we'll have a really good base to come back up. It's like, okay, so you think that some of these guys are going to be here next season? Tell you who could be here next season out of the new signings. But now, Metcha, I think those two could be here for sure. But yeah, I don't think Stack and all these guys. But listen, hopefully it doesn't come to that, people. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. And like I say, I do feel we've got a fighting chance to do it, but we've got to have additions. Because like a few people say in the comments as well, we will survive as long as we get 3 to 4 players. And I absolutely agree. But those 3 to 4 players, like Farke said, have to be quality and they have to come. Otherwise, because if we don't get them, it's going to be sticky, people. It's going to be sticky. Yeah, Hyru, I don't want to think about relegations. We've got a lot of great pieces that could get picked off. Absolutely. And Carl here saying we're staying up. Yeah, man, let's go, man. Let's go. And of course, we'll assess it all at the end of the window. That's the best time to do it and, you know, talk about it in totality of what we would have liked, what we would have hoped to have seen. Because yeah, we can talk about that for a while, and we'll do that live as well. Yeah, Jacob here as well. You can get a great fullback competition for 5 to 10 million. Yeah, absolutely, Jacob, man. It's not an expensive position. We literally just seen Borna Sosa go to Palace for £2 million. Borna Sosa comes to Leeds United. He's probably number 1 left back. That's what I'm saying. And you can even go and get somebody on loan. You don't have to spend in every position. We can utilize the loan market. Let's do it. Buonanotte, if he's willing to come, you know, if Brighton do want to loan to a Premier League team, this would be a great place to come for a loan. That would be utilizing the loan spaces really well by getting him. You know what I mean? Utilize the loan system where we can. No, Ryan, no, he's not. He stayed with Leon. He signed a new 2-year contract, unfortunately. So yeah, he's off the table. He's off the table. And Elmi here saying, yep, staying up, you need to score. Absolutely, you do. Absolutely, you do. Who said Sterling? Jason here saying, seems like our board are trying to walk the ball in. Yeah. Well, like I say, though, man, we'll judge it come the end of the season. We'll judge it, sorry, at the end of the window and see what we've got. Because like Gavin here says, we could have used the 15 million on Longstaff money better towards the top striker. Yeah, hopefully that doesn't impact it, Gavin. But yeah, for me, I feel like we could have got a much better midfielder. Again, we'll see how he works in terms of the system of this team, which I see what we're trying to build. But if you don't get those brilliant pieces on top of it, it is a waste of money. But again, we'll talk about it come the end. Is there anything else? I will end the poll here. I won't forget. I'm going to do that right now. So as the squad is today, people, do we stay up? And your answers this time, let's go when it comes up. It will be close, but no, 42%. Absolutely not. 29%. Yes, 28%. Okay. Okay, so people still not confident even after what they've seen today, which is interesting, which is good. Got a nice, intelligent community here. Yeah, I didn't forget this time, man. I didn't forget. So, is he free? Who cares, Nige? If that's who we're gonna get, just relegate us today. You know what I mean? You don't want one of those. So yeah, I think that is it, people. I think that is it. I don't think there's any new links as we come on here. There wouldn't be straight after the game. I'll just check a page. No, nothing. No, we're good. We're good, people. So yeah, listen, whatever your thoughts are, anything discussed in this video, or any thoughts that you've got as we sit here on the 9th of August, give them to me in the comments. As long as they're sensible, people, please make them sensible and eligible, so I can read them. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, people. Like the video before you go. Helps out the channel immensely. It's free to do, which is what everyone loves. Free is great. And yeah, people, enjoy the rest of your Saturday, man. Peace out. Oh, wait there. No. Not yet. Graham. Ryan, I trust you. Let me see. Graham Smith. Hold on, people. I'm not going anywhere just yet. Hold on. Oh, come on, man. Ryan, there's nothing. Ryan, you've tricked me. You tricked me, man. All right. We out, people. We out. See you in a bit.